I had this little dictionary, this Barron's Financial Terms Dictionary I got. The one I had was green, but there's also a blue one. It was from, I believe, 1992. And in there, it had this term, mutilated securities. It implies that the securities were very, very, very badly subjected to fraud. Securities fraud, right? If Saudi Arabia does not move forward on the death penalty for the murder of Jamal Khashoggi, but rather commutes the death sentences to life in prison with what now the possibility of saying there was foul play involved in the process. You know what that does? It takes whatever securities were underwriting it and unmutilates them, right? If those securities were in any way connected to discussions of how the state of Illinois commuted the death penalty of everybody on death row because of, among other things, the governor's executive order banning the death penalty because there was so much corruption involved with capital sentences. You know what that means? It means all these guys in Texas that played around with that lawyer, regardless of whatever else was the motivation, all these judges and all these lawyers in Texas that played around with that other lawyer and all the guys that signed on to support him, that took my entire life based on some writing samples I submitted to get a PR job. Does that correct for the error? Because if he used that article and anything connected to it to finance a whole bunch of other acts of securities fraud, including ones responsible for social unrest right now, does that actually keep in line with whatever was written in that article? How about all the other articles from the publication where I used to be editor, including one that discussed the application of the anti-terrorist and effective death penalty against a Palestinian man, but then was used later in acts of plagiarism that made it reference a Saudi man from Virginia, a Saudi charity from Virginia. Is that where we're on the way to? Is someone going to come out about stealing my identity and using it to launder things to finance acts of terrorism? Is she Saudi?